Hey, welcome back, everybody. This is Sarcasm Speaks. We are Jared and Bob. Um, Out of the gate here, I want to talk about something kind of strange. Um, we sort of talked about it a little bit, I think. Um, well, I mean, we definitely talked about it a lot in the past, but I think more recently after the whole FBI thing. But it's the Jeffrey Epstein stuff. So did we actually talk about that? Like when Cash Patel went on Joe Rogan? I don't remember.
Um, what parts? What specifically?
Just like a month ago, how Cash Patel and Dan Bongino like changed their tune when they went into government versus when they were like podcasters
Oh,
before.
that's so weird. I
Yeah.
can't believe something like that happened. We did not talk about it now.
Okay. All right. So are you somewhat familiar with all this crazy shit that's been going on? All right. So I'll give you the cliff notes and I'll catch you up to speed from like I'll do the last 9 months in 90 seconds, hopefully. Um, so Dan Bongino and Cash Patel both. Dan Bongino is a former Secret Service guy, had his own podcast, became super popular with conservatives over the last few years. Was one of the guys banging the drums to release all of the Epstein files, right? Saying like it's a bullshit conspiracy. I don't believe it for 1 second. It's all a crock of shit, whatever. Cash Patel previously worked for the DOD. He was like the deputy director, I think, of the DOD. Um, he helped out Trump in his first term. He did some other shit. Um,
His
he,
deal was like, I'll release that shit day one or
yeah,
whatever the
yeah.
fuck.
Well, he went on a podcast tour last year and was like, well, if Trump puts me as the FBI director, like I'll release that on day one, right? He kept saying day one, this, all this comes out on day one. Um, so needless to say, it didn't come out on day one. But you have these two guys that prior to their appointment into the cabinet, right? So Kash Patel is now the director of the FBI, and Dan Bongino is the assistant director of the or deputy director, whatever it's called. He's the number two guy at the FBI. So both of those guys beating the drum for so long, the on the Epstein stuff, release the files, release this, release that. If I'm in day one, I don't believe this, I don't believe that. They get appointed in like February, whatever, whenever it is they get appointed. Since then, we've gotten nothing, right? To the point where now, like a month ago, Cash Patel went on the Joe Rogan podcast and talked about how there's nothing there. He goes, I've seen everything. He goes, there's nothing there. He killed himself. He goes, I've looked at it all. And he tried to pull the bullshit of like, I'm the guy that said I would release it all. And I've seen it all. And there's nothing to release. Like he tried to pull that shit. Understandably, the backlash to that was absurd because people don't give a shit, right? People are no longer, I would say, uh, not so much Republicans. I want to kind of stay away from that term, but like conservatives in general, people that tend to be more conservative, they are, and this is an overgeneralization. I realize that because they're not all perfect, but people that tend to be lean conservative tend to be more um, down the middle with their own party, right? So, for example, right, the liberal, like the liberal crowd, right? It was, to go back to COVID and whatever. It was like, oh yeah, no, you can't get COVID if you get it. No, absolutely, get it or you're gonna kill my grandma, right? And like the conservatives were like, I don't know, dude. Like, we should probably do some whatever, find this out. And there was not a single person who was liberal that would question the narrative, right? They're very good at falling in line with the narrative. I will give them that, right? They're very good at providing a unified message. The conservatives are not, right? Because they're by nature a little bit more free thinking. Um, so with this, the whole Epstein stuff, the conservative base was like, fuck you guys. We don't believe you. You just went on Joe Rogan and you just lied. You lied to us all. That's what they were like. Everyone is like, it doesn't, I don't give a shit that Cash Patel's whatever he said on Joe Rogan. It goes, he's lying. He's full of shit. And like the backlash was nuts. So now, over the last week, what do you think the story is? Well, there's nothing, there's no files. So we've gone from 9 months ago, on day one, I'll release everything, to getting appointed, to being like, we're looking at it, right? We have it all. We have it all. We're collecting it all. And we're gonna look at it and we're gonna release it. To a couple months later, yeah, no, he definitely killed himself. To a month later, yeah, we don't have anything else actually to release. Because now everyone is saying, well, didn't Attorney General Pam Bondi say that she had like thousands of files to go through? And they're like, no, no, there was no thousands of files actually. Like now they're just blatantly lying, right? So we've done a complete 180, right, over the last, if you want to call it 9 months, right, of the we're going to release everything to we have it all and we're going to look at it, then we're going to release it, to we looked at it and there's nothing there, to now there was actually nothing to look at. And now people are like, so did you lie to us 3 months ago when you said you were gathering all the information to look at and release? And then you said a month ago that you looked at it and there was nothing there, but now today you're saying there was nothing to look at it to begin with. So you lied. When did you lie? Right? Like common sense tells you you're lying now, right? Like we understand that. But like if you follow the logic of what they've actually been saying and the narrative they've been carrying, you've been lying the entire time. And like the lie has just been getting worse and worse and worse and worse. Like I said, from we're going to look at it to we already looked at it and there's nothing, and now there's nothing even to look at. We didn't actually look at anything because there's nothing to look at. There doesn't even exist.
So weird for politics, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. So they're all
Imagine
pieces
that.
of shit.
Imagine that. Someone lying.
Every single one of them is a piece of shit, in my opinion.
Well, so here you go. I mean, we've been doing this a while, and some people might get the assumption that we were maybe more right leaning, which may or may not be. It doesn't really matter. I don't fucking pay attention. And we kept saying it's like, hey, we pick on the Democrats because they're the ones acting ridiculous. Pendulum has swung.
Correct. Yep.
This
Yep.
is this is retarded.
This is absolutely retarded. Yeah.
It's like, oh nope, no, nothing. So the only thing that I do like, and this gives me not like faith in humanity or any type of like hope or anything, like nothing of that sort. But now I do get a kick that they're gonna get turned on by their own people, as they should.
Right.
But if this was the other way, I think, as you were kind of alluding to, it's like, no, everyone just goes, oh, yes, of course.
Right.
You're right.
Right.
Like, and there'll be some of them. It's like, oh,
Right. There
wow.
were no Epstein files. Yeah.
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 Like, oh, yeah. No, there's nothing there.
Yeah. What files? What do you mean?
No, they went through them. Nothing
Yeah.
there.
Yeah. No, there was nothing to
Yeah.
go through because they weren't. That's the new
Very
story.
simple.
There was
And
nothing
that's the
even to
thing.
go
Very
through.
simply put. So there's no nothing. There's no lists. There's no this. There's no that. What was he trafficking the girls for then?
Yeah. He went to jail. What did he go to jail for? So this is what was really funny is
Yeah. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell in jail?
of all fucking people, Tucker Carlson, that guy. I saw a video clip. I think I sent it to our group, our Twitter group. Of all people, that's the guy that I am now in agreement with. Like I don't know where like what are we doing now that like me and Tucker Carlson are like on the same wavelength on something. But here we are because he goes in that I don't know if you watched the clip or not, but I'll paraphrase it. He goes, yeah, he goes, I never thought I would find myself in this position, but I think I owe Jeffrey Epstein an apology because he was thrown in jail wrongfully because there's no
There's
evidence.
no files.
There's no files. They don't exist. He was put in jail for no reason. And he killed himself in prison because he was in prison, and he
Presumably
what
for no reason.
he wasn't supposed to be in prison. And he goes, and then his friend and romantic partner for some time, Ghislaine Maxwell, is currently in prison now, and for in prison for human trafficking. By the way, she was convicted of human trafficking, um, but there are no victims. It's a victimless crime, her human trafficking, and she didn't traffic him to anybody either. So she's probably wrongfully imprisoned as well. So we should just let her out, and we should issue an apology. The federal government should issue an apology to Epstein and his family.
And it's funny, it's like when you hear that and you hear how ridiculous that is, it's like it's not ridiculous.
It's like that's what you're like
That's what they're telling you.
the government, like that's what the scenario is if what the government is currently saying is accurate. It's like, again, it's logic and common sense. If X, then Y, right? Like if there are no files, then he was in prison for no reason. He was wrongfully in prison.
I can't even believe that they couldn't like because effectively what they're doing is they're covering this up.
Yeah, no, so I'll tell you exactly what it is, right? Not to go full Alex
Oh,
Jones.
sorry, were you there?
Yeah, yeah. um, I'm gonna be honest, I'm a little retarded.
Did you call your buddy Cash and he told
Yeah,
you? He goes, listen, what's really going on?
yeah. Um, everyone is on this fucking thing, including Trump. Trump is on the list. His name is on there. Everyone in government, and I guarantee you, there's people in government that you would have no fucking clue would be on this list that are on this list, and not just people in government, but so world politics, right? Not just because again, remember, like the whole Prince Andrew thing, he was kicked out of the royal family. This is a global catastrophe waiting to happen if this information gets out, right? And they can't do it. They can't do it because of the implication. Remember that from Always Sunny? Well, of course she wouldn't say no because of the
The implication.
implication. But what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you saying? Why are you saying it like that? You're making it seem like it's nefarious. No, it's not nefarious. It's just the implication. Um, but yeah, no, it is. It's never going to be released because again, I guarantee you, Trump is on there. I guarantee you, Bill Gates. We know Bill Gates is on there, right? But that ilk,
Don't
right?
also, and I have a point to this, but don't we know Trump's on there too? Like, isn't it like documented that he had visited him?
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
it's
Again, we've talked about it before. Being on the list
doesn't
doesn't
necessarily
necessarily
mean
mean anything.
right. So I guess like that's what I was gonna say is I can also level with if there's no delineation of um who was a who engaged in criminal activity and who didn't,
Yeah,
then I get it. You can't release the list. But to say there isn't one
right,
is a fucking blatant lie.
right, right. Yeah, because again, the whole Ghislaine Maxwell thing, she's in prison for human trafficking. We don't know who she trafficked, and we don't know who she
To
trafficked to.
two. And like, because that's the thing is, even if every politician, which is not possible, but even if every politician just went to visit him for what was he a money guy?
He was a finance guy, yeah.
So it's like every single one went to him. He was soliciting investments in legitimate things. The human trafficking had to go somewhere. So whether that was uh, a trafficking group, a nation, a gang, whatever, something. To say nothing, you didn't even try.
Yeah,
Like the FBI probably looked at this and goes, "Fuck, we can't in good faith put this out."
right.
So what
Because
should
they
we do?
know.
Say
They,
it doesn't exist.
yeah,
That's the thing. We all know it exists. Something exists. It has to.
yeah, yeah.
Or come out and is exonerate the right word? Is that the right
No,
word?
exonerate is to forgive.
Oh, well, you have to something with his sentence, right? You'd have to like, no, no, he's dead anyway, so who cares? So you just like symbolically have to say like, oh yeah, like he didn't do anything.
Yeah. Oh, so that, yeah, in that context, exonerate would be correct. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah, because it would be beyond just a pardon.
Right. Right.
You would have to on record come out and state that he didn't do anything if what you guys are saying is currently true, which we all know is not.
Right.
And frankly, that's just fucking. It's not only is it insulting to the victims, anybody involved, all of it. It's also just insulting to humans.
Yeah. You know what? You know what the funny part about this is? There really isn't. It's not really haha funny, but like the funny part of it is of all the people that would be inculcated, right, or implicated in this scandal, if you will. You know, the people that wouldn't be on the list, probably people from the Middle East and probably the Chinese, which who are the two biggest antagonists right now to the Western world, Middle Eastern countries like Iran and Afghanistan and China. So I think that might play into it as well, as far as like because again, this would make everyone look terrible, right? Like, and I'm saying maybe just I'm just this isn't anything based in fact, but maybe of the last 8 presidents that we've had, 7 of them are on the list, right? What if, right? What if of the I don't know how many countries are in Europe, call it 50, right? Of the 50 countries in Europe, 35 of their leaders are on the list, right? And it's like that is going to look so fucking terrible that you just can't do it, right? Let alone all the members of Congress and then not in geopolitics, right? The people outside of geopolitics. Imagine, again, we all know Bill Gates is on the list, but like there's no like definitive, like actual proof, right? Because they just deny it. Think of what that would do to a company like Microsoft, right? Even though Bill Gates isn't even associated with Microsoft anymore, right? But think about what if Bezos is on that list? What would that do to Amazon, right?
I was actually kind of about to
There's
say like, what if it was
there's
not just
there's publicly traded companies that their CEOs, CFOs, all their C-suite, all these people were definitely implicated with this guy as well.
well,
There
it's like
would
you could
be
even see what was that like when was it the Windows 95 release
Yeah, Steve
where they were like
Ballmer when they were like
clapping
all
and
like hopped up on cocaine on the stage.
like that whole group
Yeah,
could be.
yeah. That was Steve Ballmer, Paul Allen, and Bill Gates.
Yeah, there was like I think so. I do think there was like a handful of guys, but I think those were
Well,
probably the
yeah, those are
three
like the
heavy
big
hitters,
three.
right?
Yeah, those are the big three. Those are the
Um,
names that everyone remembers.
yeah, and then like you know, I don't know, like what if De Niro, Pacino,
Yeah.
like
What if Brad Pitt's on that list?
Hanks, like
Right. Yeah. Like this runs so fucking deep that it would completely crumble just the whole world. Everything.
so
Like from
forgive me
entertainment to
forgive me for
geopolitics to publicly traded companies to private companies to science, right? We know fucking the guy in the man fucking Stephen Hawking. The hello, my name is
That's a better impression.
yeah. He was there, right? Like we know he was there. There's other people like Eric Weinstein has come out and said he was invited to go there and he met with them. And Eric Weinstein is like sort of a weird dude, but he told maybe Rogan on one of his podcasts, but he was like, I spoke to this guy for 15 minutes and I knew he was full of shit. He goes, I knew he wasn't a finance guy. But like again, Eric Weinstein is like an absolute fucking like next level, like weird mathematician genius guy. Um, but like it's everywhere, everywhere. Like I said, science, mathematics, academia.
I do think your biggest problems, so because it's like I think the entertainment stuff would be it would get hit, but like it's also kind of like a while ago, and especially like in entertainment, it's like what have you done for me lately? So like let's even just say it was Clooney, Pitt, De Niro, Hanks, Travolta, Pacino, um, just that era, right?
Yeah,
Not great, but a lot of those people have probably kind of cycled through. Plus, we all know that Hollywood is full of shitbags anyway. Like
yeah,
that's on
yeah,
record.
yeah.
Um, a different Weinstein. Um, so I do think that would blow over. I think your biggest problems would be what would financially happen to companies where someone get was implicated, and then also what happens to current sitting politicians.
Yeah.
Now,
Like what happens
personally,
if Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, right? What happens if comes out he's on there, right? Like you know what I mean? There's too many people, it runs too deep with too many powerful people. It's not coming out.
no,
We'll get it in 40 years.
no, we won't. Because let's go back to it. Where are the JFK files?
I mean, those have all been released.
Yeah, have they? In
Yeah.
their full and non-redacted form, like we were
Uh,
told?
I think so. Yeah.
I don't know if they have. Because no one went through them and no one said anything and no one commented. I mean, dude, they released something.
Yeah.
It wasn't what they said it would be. No shit.
Yeah.
Like that thing, it was still redacted. Um, and I don't think anyone pulled those files and it gave us any information. I mean, unless
Okay.
everyone is just going to take it at face value.
So, according to ChatGPT, no. I asked, have all the JFK files been fully released and unredacted? The answer is no. While a massive batch of previously redacted JFK assassination files has now been released unredacted, not all have been made public yet. In March 2025, approximately 60,000 to 80,000 pages across roughly 2,200 files were published, including 1,200 files newly unredacted. So these include documents on Lee Harvey Oswald's activities, CIA surveillance, memos from insiders like James Angleton. There are roughly 3,000 files that are still being withheld.
Yeah, I was gonna say I knew we didn't get it all.
And there's an additional 2,400 that are pending release. So there's 5,000 roughly ish files that have not been released. 2,400 of them will be released at some point, but like 3,000 of them there's no plans to be released.
I think the answers everyone's looking for is probably in those 3,000.
Yeah.
And same with the um Fuck me. The 9/11 report, right? It's missing, I don't know, however many pages,
Yeah. What happened to Tower 7?
or just yeah, or whatever. It's like didn't it wasn't Cash Patel? Wasn't he like, oh yeah, no, I've seen the other pages too. Okay, where are those?
Yeah.
It's
He's
been
gonna
20
come out
years.
and say
9/11's
those.
funny. Like just like South Park told us, 9/11's funny now. So
Right. Right. Yeah. So I don't know.
no, there's nothing to not know. It's this is the same. It's left, right, like left, right. You guys sit there and fucking bitch and moan at each other. You're all the same.
It's all the same.
What you believe in might change, but you're all it's all the same shit.
Yeah.
Or it's all the same shit once they get to Washington. Then every single one of them is the exact same. And whichever ones yell the loudest about God knows what, they're the ones not doing shit.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Like
And
for years, Bernie Sanders was that guy. He was the loud one, the weird one, the crazy one. I got all these ideas, whatever, and he didn't do shit.
right.
Like what
Right.
that guy hasn't accomplished anything in his political
Because it's
career.
all for show.
Yeah.
It's all for
Like
show.
has AOC accomplished anything?
No. Nope.
No. The ones who actually accomplish shit, I've never heard of.
Right. Right.
Like even that dude Massey, who I like, because I think he's just a prick. But like, what has he done in all
Yeah.
actuality? I know he
Yeah.
voted against some shit, but
Yeah.
like even him, like that, even what he does is performative to an extent. Now
Right.
I find it funny, making a mockery of the whole thing, like wearing tuxedos to the janitor job, but um. Yeah, like I'm not gonna believe for a second that like, oh wow, no, he's got it figured out. It's like, no, he just doesn't care right now.
Yeah.
If he was more influential, you'd never hear from him.
Yeah. And I mean, I really do think that I don't think that there's a deep state, right? Like Joe Rogan has talked about this before. And I mean, there is a deep state, but what I mean is I don't think there's like a cabal of people. Like I don't think
Secret
there's
Council of
this
Elders.
secret cabal somewhere that like pulls all the strings and like does all this stuff. Like Rogan has made the joke before. Like I think when you become president, they give you day one and they let you have all the things, and then on day two they take you in a back room and they sit you down and they say, "This is what you're going to do for us." And he goes, if you decline still, they show you an angle of the JFK assassination that you've never seen before. Right? Like he's made that joke before. I think that was one of his bits once on stage or something, but I don't necessarily think it's a cabal of people. What I think is it's the machine is so big, it's going to keep self-propelling, right? It's like a giant cargo ship, right? Like you can cut the engine, but that thing's going to keep fucking cruising for a long time. So what it is, right, is I think it's what we just talked about. It's you have someone like Cash Patel, right? Me, like I can sit here now because I'm just some fucking jabroni sitting in front of a TV screen talking to my friend, right? And say like, "Oh, I would do this or I would do that." But if I were really put in the position of being the director of the FBI, and someone sat me down, showed me all of the information that was there, and said, "Okay, we've run the numbers. This is what's going to happen if you release all of this." Again, BlackRock, Amazon, Microsoft, those are all, those are all crushed by this. Of the 512 people in the US federal government, 350 of them gone, right? Again, 35 out of the 50 countries in Europe gutted for their government. Meanwhile, places like Iran and China skate free because their names aren't there. And it's like, the entertainment industry, right? You got Tom Hanks and Brad Pitt and George Clooney and all these guys. They're gone. Is that really what you want to do? Right? I think someone hands you the paperwork and goes, "Do you want to be the reason why the world falls apart?" And then I think you just kind of have to sit there and be like, fuck, man, I can't do this. I can't do this, right? Because I think it really does run that deep. And that's what I mean by like, yes, there is a quote unquote deep state, but it's not this like secret cabal. I think it's just people get in and they realize the magnitude of what's actually going on. And they're like, fuck, man, like I can't be the one that causes the world to fall apart. That's really what I think how it happens and why time after time after time, like you had said, whether it's Democrat or Republican, they do the same shit, right? And now you get people like Patel and Bongino who are so bombastic for months and months, for years, really, on, oh, I'll do this, I'll do that, day one, day this. And now 7 months into their term, we've got nothing. And not only we've got nothing, they're blatantly lying, saying that nothing even exists. Because I think they know the repercussions.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty sick. How did we get here?
Pretty easily, dude. And that's the thing. It's like shame on anyone that listened, heard, believed, and trusted.
Yeah,
I listened and heard. I'm skeptical, so it's like I didn't know what to believe.
yeah,
Definitely didn't trust anything. And now it's like, dude, we are 6 months into this administration, and it's just even the simple stuff, the simple things. JFK, 9/11, Epstein files, nowhere to be found. Fuck, I just had something else off the top of my head. Oh, Elon Musk, like the Doge thing,
yeah,
up in smoke.
yeah,
The big things you stood on, gone.
yeah. And now Elon's pissed because of it, because he bought into it. He believed. He bought
Shame
the
on him.
lie.
Shame on him. I thought
Yeah.
I thought he was a smart guy, right? Isn't that what they say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They pulled the rug out from him real fucking quick. They were like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, easy, buddy. You can't do that. You can't do your job that well. This is the United States government. You can't do that good of a job at your job." So, um, with that, completely changing course and talking about something that I think is hilarious that I had no idea. You know, Mark Ripito
Rip.
from Starting Strength, right? That
I don't rip.
so I had no idea. So for anyone out there that doesn't know, Mark Ripito is big. Is he still big? He was big like 10 years
Yeah, I
ago.
mean he's big with the starting strength people.
Yeah. So he was big. He was huge probably 10 to 15 years ago. He wrote a book called Starting Strength. It was like, basically how to get in shape, right?
Hey,
Yeah.
it's probably the most appropriate. It's one of the most appropriately titled books
Yeah.
ever to exist.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably up there
Very
with
good
like Tiger
book.
Woods, like How I Play Golf.
Yeah. Yeah. If I did
What's
it
what's
from
that
OJ
about?
Simpson.
Yeah, that's
It's up there with the most straightforward book titles. So he became huge, right, in the strength world. He was a lot of people, if you go back, people our age, like our, you call it generation, right, in the fitness world, a lot of them go back to Mark Ripito and that book, saying they read that book and it kind of changed them and got them interested in the fitness industry. Like I ran into a lot of people back in the day that always brought up Ripito. So big time guy, right? Got his roots in the fitness world. I had no fucking clue. I never read his book, right? So I don't know much about him other than like maybe the couple times if he was ever at a Perform Better seminar that I went to go see him or whatever. but I was listening to the Rogan podcast the other day, and there was a guy on who's like an AI guy, right? And he was talking about Mark Ripito, and he's not from the US, so he kept calling him Mark Repertoire. Like the first
Yeah.
time he said it, he was like, "Oh yeah, Mark Repertoire from Starting Strength," and I was like, "Wait a second, is he talking about Mark Ripito?"
That's 1,000% not how that's
Yeah, and
pronounced.
I was like,
The
"Okay,
guy
buddy,
from
go."
Texas is not repertoire.
Yeah, yeah, go back to I forget where the guy was from, but um, obviously not the U.S. So okay, he was big into AI, maybe like a Norwegian country or something. I don't know. So he's going, and then he tells Joe about GOMAD. Now, do you know about the GOMAD thing? Have you heard that before?
Yeah.
I had never heard this. So now imagine this. I'm listening to an episode of the Joe Rogan podcast where this like super smart guy who's talking about like AI and the things it can do and the future of it and explaining to meat stick Joe Rogan and being like, oh, this is really interesting. Cause like I really am interested in AI. Like I think it's really cool. And I try and learn as much about it as I can. And they start talking about Mark Ripito and he mentions GOMAD. And Joe Rogan's like, what the fuck is GOMAD? And he goes, oh, you don't know about this? And he starts telling him, he goes, it stands for a gallon of milk a day. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And Rogan's like, Jesus, like, what the fuck? And he goes, yeah. So Mark Ripito tells people to drink a gallon of milk a day. And that's how they like put on size. And Rogan's head just fucking exploded, as did mine. And I was like, I had no idea. Like, again, I knew who Mark Ripito was. Like I said, I never read his book. I never really followed much of his stuff. But like, I had never heard of this gallon of milk a day thing. But apparently it's huge.
Well, that's a thing. Like, people want to. So you have to recognize that Mark Ripito is a purely strength guy.
Yeah.
I don't know his coaching background. I don't know his competitive background. He competed in something back in the day.
He
He's also
started as a bodybuilder
okay. He's also
and
old now.
then he transitioned, I think, to powerlifting.
Yeah, so I don't know if he actually coaches power lifters or just gets people really, really strong in the low bar squat, the bench,
Right.
and the deadlift. So he is a strength guy through and through. Therefore, he's like, there are a lot of people that want to be strong. Like that's the thing. He's like, he goes, there's a lot of people that want to squat over 400 pounds and they're afraid to weigh 200 pounds. And he's
Yeah.
like, he goes, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
He's like, sure, there are exceptions, but like, if you want to move real weights, you need to put on real mass.
Right. Mass moves mass.
And yeah, so it's like, but again, it's a very like the book is starting strength, not you're already strong and trying to get 5% stronger every day while also maintaining a low
Right.
body fat percentage.
Right. 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 Right.
It's starting strength. So yeah, I mean, if you're skinny or underweight, like you need to gain it. One way to do that is a gallon of milk every day.
Yeah, I heard this and I'm just like, what the fuck am I listening to right now? But yeah, it's
So starting strength is one of the funniest things if you just don't take them too seriously, which I don't think they take themselves too serious. I mean, like when it comes to like their profession, like they do, but like with some of the stuff, and it's like, so you want to move big weight? Well, get big. He goes, get He goes, if you just get pink fat and lift a ton of weight on the bar, like you'll move a bunch of weight or something. Because like people make fun of Ripito for being fat and pink.
yeah.
Um, so that's like why I can still tolerate it because Rip actually knows a lot more than comes to the surface. Because again, the premise of it is starting strength.
Right.
Now, I still think he's pretty good. I still remember there was a podcast where he had a chiropractor on. He was like, he goes, okay, so he goes, we're going to talk about like, like what you actually do and like what the profession of chiropractors do. And he's like, now we know that like the nitrogen bubble thing like isn't or like a real thing. Like you're not cracking nitrogen bubbles to make the sound in the joints or whatever it
Yeah,
was.
yeah, yeah,
And the chiropractor starts going, he goes, well, the nitrogen is a thing. He goes, no. He goes, we know it's not. He
yeah.
goes, please do not use that premise because we know that that's not the case. I'm asking you, what is the science, the background, like, he goes, tell me about it. He goes, because he goes, I'm not a chiropractor guy. He
Right,
goes, because I don't think most of you guys know anything. He goes, so talk to me. Tell me. Tell me why I'm wrong.
right, right,
Well, the nitrogen, he goes, stop. He goes, we know it's not the nitrogen. He goes, we know that.
right.
Tell me the rest.
Yeah,
So, I mean, that's just kind of how he is. It's a no bullshit guy. Like, again, you want to get strong as shit, he'll fucking get you strong as shit. Like, there's not really a lot of debate there. Always
yeah.
has. Now, if you want to do it while also getting on a stage, probably not your guy. Nor are any of the starting strength people. They're just not. And the
Yeah,
same thing, now some people don't like the starting strength people because like if you kind of like if a starting strength coach wanted to kind of dig into what I do and how I do it, they wouldn't like it because I'm on the performance side, they are on the pure strength side. And I am aware that a lot of our training isn't in line with just pure, true classic strength training.
right,
And they wouldn't like that, which is okay. They don't have to.
right. Yeah,
Because the starting strength guys don't also need to jump high and jump far and bounce and sprint fast
right.
while also not pulling a hamstring or
Yeah,
tearing a patella tendon.
right. Yeah. So, yeah, I just thought that was hilarious because I had never heard that before. Right. Of all the years I spent in the fitness world, and I know who Ripito was, and I never heard of the gallon of milk a day thing, which also like,
It's also like an older, I mean, that advice might be like 20 years old.
yeah, that's also disgusting.
Yeah,
That's fucking
sure is.
gross.
But
You should,
here's the thing, right? So if you drank, you know this, if you drink a gallon of milk a day and somehow could stomach it,
that's the shits that you get from that
while
is like,
also
oh
while
man.
also training reasonably hard and intelligently, would you struggle with any type of mass problems?
No.
And if you had any body fat percentage issues, would it be attributed to just the milk or the total picture?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's what like it's one but that's the thing is like that book probably came out in like 2005 or
Oh
so,
yeah. Yeah.
if not earlier.
I think so.
Like that advice probably came, everyone probably did it. Everyone probably forgot about it and now it's back. Like but I mean, even go further back because this is a big thing that's happening right now, I think,
Oh
is
God.
a lot of like older strength coaches are going back to like the history because people are like, oh my God, it's like velocity based training, it's all this stuff. And they're like, velocity based training's not new.
Right.
It's easier to measure now, but it's not new.
Yeah.
And frankly, the velocity based training protocols are mostly fucking trash. Never mind what they're measuring doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's the same shit with like if you because you as a wearer, you know Whoop has scientific limitations and flaws, yes?
Right.
Okay.
Right. No, they're
Impartially we can
perfect.
yeah, right. So impartially we can say that. It's the
Yeah.
same thing with anything. Fucking go back to fucking Bob. Anything that's ever been measured has had error before. So it's like
Yeah.
you can't have anything that's perfect.
Yeah.
But
Remember his rant on the Bod Pod?
yeah, there's only one way to get a true body fat percentage, but it's not repeatable. The
Yeah,
blender.
the blender. But his whole thing was like everyone said the bod pod at the time was, oh, it's the new gold standard. Well, they measured it against the hydrostatic way. So if they measured it against something, how can it be better than the something that they had to verify it with? That was his whole. That was.
To be fair, it makes no sense.
I mean, I still remember that rant. I remember his rants fucking a decade later. Like it's unbelievable. This guy is really, really something else. His whole shtick on
Yeah,
wall,
he is.
the bod pod. Yeah, the bod pod is shit. The hydrostatic way is the gold standard. But then obviously he would always end with, well, the blender is the best way.
Right. Yeah, I remember the sweat lesson. That one comes up frequently.
Yeah.
And I explained it to a guy, and they were like, "Well, what was the point of his lecture?" I go, "Oh, see, no, 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 you are asking the wrong questions there."
Yeah. Yeah.
I go, "No, the point was like, what is the actual like thermodynamics of the actual physiology of sweat? But why do you need to wear no clothes and put a fan on you just so you can maximize sweat evaporation? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
It doesn't actually like, I guess, optimize a human quality in any way, shape, or form."
Yeah. Yes. I feel like we could do a whole episode on Haslam stories. Like I don't even know the context of this, but I vividly remember his story of, oh, when I was at Syracuse, as most of his stories started. I don't even know what they were testing, right? I don't know the context, but they had the mice in the water. They were testing, like seeing like maybe how long they could swim in the water or whatever. And he goes, this one little fucker realized he could just puff himself up and just float in the water. So I tied a weight to him. So he had to swim. It was either swim or drown. And so he swam until he couldn't swim anymore. Like, what the fuck?
I think that was the same one. He goes, "I've killed a lot of rat or mice." He goes, "I've killed a lot of mice in my day." It's like,
Oh man. Fucking Bob. He was
so I think,
great.
unfortunately, I don't know if I actually finished my thought because I don't remember what my thought was. Did I finish my thought?
Drinking a gallon of milk is
No,
gross.
after that.
It's old. It's from like the early
Oh,
2000s.
yeah. So I guess like anything that's been measured. That was, yeah.
Oh
So it's
yeah.
like, so a lot of strength coaches are like, they're pulling up like history because you have a wave of people that have no clue about some of the stuff that guys were learning from even when we were coming up, which wasn't that long ago.
Right.
But it's like some of that stuff from like 80s ish, like they got no clue it even exists. So it's like, you got guys doing whatever, like, oh my God, like look at this like plyo protocol. And it's like, yeah, man, there's a textbook here where some Russian guy was doing this
Yeah.
in fucking 1976.
Yeah.
So it's like you didn't come up with anything, but it's like they don't even know the history of. So that's the thing. It's like with Ripito now, people are like, oh my God, a gallon of milk a day. It's like, bro, that is old fucking news. And also, Rip wasn't the guy who came up with that. Think about like anytime any football coach needed someone to gain weight. Drink a shitload of milk, eat a shitload of peanut butter and jellies, like
Yeah.
bad nutritional habits, but gained weight on people. Like offensive linemen waking up at 3 a.m. to eat 3 or 4 peanut butter sandwiches so that they can
Yeah.
just go back to sleep because it's like they
Yeah.
can't eat enough calories during the day. Like, dude, this is not new. Like,
Right.
fucking
Right.
Dickie used to drink milk to gain weight in college. Like,
Yeah.
drink a decent amount of it as well. But like, that's not mind blowing.
Right.
He looked at that. He goes, "These are calories. There are good nutrients in it. I'll drink that."
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
I looked it up too. A gallon of whole milk is 2,400 calories.
Well, man, I mean, like it's one of those things. Like I think like leanness, like like this is that you should have the lowest. You shouldn't be carrying a high body fat percentage. It's
Right.
just not healthy for you. There's no impartial way to
But like
combat that.
when you look at the world's strongest man, right? Like that competition, outside of Mariusz Pudzianowski, who was fucking gassed to the gills, um, no one was shredded in that
No,
competition. You have
no,
these
because
people that
the thing
lift
is, the idea is you're
literally
supposed to be as
thousands of
strong as
pounds.
possible.
Yeah.
And then even so, I've seen a couple examples today. So if you had to guess what the average weight of an MLB pitcher is, average weight, how much?
200 pounds.
It's like 211.
Yeah.
It's over 210.
Yeah.
Average catcher is like 211. Average first baseman's like 220. The only guys who are under 200 pounds are
It's like the
like
outfield.
shortstops. I think it's like center field, shortstop, and second base.
Yeah.
Now, those guys also proportionately are shorter. Maybe not the center fielder, but
Yeah.
the middle infield, usually they're shorter guys, they're lighter guys. So then when you take their height, the ratio of their body weight to height, all of these guys are like 2.5 to 2.75. So it's like it all ends up kind of matching. And it's the same thing. Like if you're 160 pounds, like you're not a fucking MLB player,
Yeah.
not even close.
Yeah.
So it's like you gotta kind of match whatever, but everyone's like, oh well, you gotta be lean, can't be fat, you gotta do this, gotta go keto, like whatever. And then even do you ever look at any Allie Gilbert stuff?
No, I don't think
So
so.
she came up, the reason I even know who she is she came up through like the golf world. Like she was one of the first people training golfers in Greenwich, Connecticut. Uh, and then she kind of flipped to more so men's health and optimization, including like testosterone when needed. And she also got married to Charlie Weingroff. So it's
Okay. Yeah.
like,
I know
yep, yep.
Chuck.
So so she does a lot of like the men's health, testosterone optimization when appropriate, like all of that. And she had some like bullet points, whatever, and whatever, this, that, the other thing. Again, it's more general fitness stuff, but it's also like you can't be eating 1,800 calories and train as hard as you want to, and do Brazilian jiu-jitsu, and
Yeah.
go for all of these like cardio things.
Yeah.
But that's what everyone does is they try to up their activity like crazy, eat less, and then they get stuck in nowheresville of they don't like they got no gas, no energy, not looking forward to anything. Fucking stress is crazy. But then they're trying to grind through all those things.
Right.
Now there is a number and then obviously ratios and percentages because if you're gonna start eating more, you need to fucking match it up. But like that's the thing is like 1,800 calories doesn't match all of those things.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but these are not new concepts.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Like you
like
do.
the you can take someone in a like a fitness lab basically, right? And be like, all right, you're gonna squat X amount, you're gonna do sled pulls X amount, you're gonna do farmers carries or yokes, right? Like yoke walks. Remember, everyone was like, oh, yoke walk is
Oh
great.
yeah, the yoke.
Loaded carries, the hip hinge, the squat, the deadlift, the this, the that, the do this, the do that, the core work. Yeah. Or you can grow up on a farm in Wisconsin and you can be why they call it farm boy strong because you're carrying logs, which is your yoke walk, you're lifting shit up, which is your deadlift and squat, you're, carrying massive jugs of water to a trough to feed the animals. There's your farmer's carries, aptly named, right? And it's like this isn't new, right? Like you're training in a gym
None
this
of it's new.
way isn't new. And for some people, that's called life, right?
To
Like,
be fair, nothing is new.
yeah,
Like you're
yeah,
even seeing just like in sprinting, you're seeing like Charlie Francis's stuff coming
yeah,
back around, which if anyone who doesn't know that, that's Ben Johnson's sprint coach.
right.
What year did he get popped? 80 something?
So yeah, something like that.
Early 90s, something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah. He had this revolutionary thing about like, hey, if you're going to sprint full speed, you need to do it on fresh legs. And you can't do it like multiple days in a row. Yet, fucking these soccer organizations can't figure out how to get their people faster.
yeah. even that isn't new because prior to that, that pulls off of um would it have been Vergashansky or Pavel Tsatsouline, like the Russian guys, right? It's the
Yeah, so
the
Pavel
Russian
was the kettlebell
guys.
guy. He came later, but
So
yeah,
the Russian
Verkhoshansky
guys
and
were always like, you if you want to lift maximum effort, you do it once and then you do nothing. And then you
yeah,
go do something else. Right? Like that's the Russian method. And then I think the other side of that is they never worked to maximum capacity.
no,
So they did like they trained every single day, but they only trained to like 65, 75%. And that's it. And they
yeah,
never
like
dealt with
even
injuries, right? They were never injured, right? They were strong as fuck because they were trained every single day. But the American thing, right, or like the Western way is like, oh, just lift heavy all the time. That's like, oh, I wonder why my knee got blown out, or like I blew out my lower back, or
yeah,
oh, my shoulder's been acting up lately. And it's like,
dude,
well, yeah.
even for speed, like so when a guy is gonna run the 40 at the NFL Combine, usually they do about an 8 week kind of ramp up. How many 40s do you think they run in those 8 weeks?
I mean, probably like five.
Yeah, it's probably about two
Yeah.
with anyone that knows what they're doing. And that's
Yeah.
usually with skill guys that can kind of do it, and usually not with the bigs. And there's some actual good collegiate strength coaches that I would actually listen to. They don't 40 their bigs at all. They're like, yeah, we'll do tens, maybe a fly 10 or a 10-10 fly, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh my God, like you don't run the bigs, like the bigs, like there's actual like relation with the 40 in offensive line performance. It's the only one with the whatever. He goes, yeah, sure. He goes, they can run the 40 when it's time to run the 40.
Right.
He goes, in the meantime, we'll accelerate. He goes, and I'll just make sure that they don't come up fucking with an ankle, a hamstring, or anything like that. And lo and behold, what is it right now? Football. No one trained because everyone had their spring whatever. And everyone's got these camps and these clinics and this, and it's turf work and it's off-season practices and it's mandatory this, whatever. And then the guys are running 40s, and we had a big fucking pull a hamstring, like pretty significantly. And it's just like, why the fuck is he running a 40? And
Yeah.
it's like, in a week, he was going to run 640s. At the NFL Combine, in 8 weeks,
Yeah.
most guys run about four.
Yeah.
So, yes, we don't know our history, especially when it comes to human performance and whether that's strength, speed, power, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. We don't know our history and we don't know what we're talking about. And that's why you still continue to see people fucking lost.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's wild. Like I said, like I said, the biggest thing that sticks out to me too is the getting crazy creative with stuff. And it's like, meanwhile, you could just do it on a farm, right? It's like kind of going back to Rocky,
Oh,
right? Like
well, even
Rocky
even
4 when Drago is like in the lab doing all the crazy shit and Rocky's chasing chickens and like, you know, pushing rocks up hills and
fucking
stuff.
pull-ups on the fucking rafter, like the log rafter of his
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
cabin.
Yeah, it's like that's how people got strong for literally thousands of years.
Yeah. Well, even dude, even this, right? Like, so you got a lot of fucking problems, but like, so just work with me here. But I had to prioritize the bench press because I couldn't really prioritize everything else
Yeah.
or anything else. Sorry. So stop me if you've heard this before. One day's a heavy day. One day is a volume day, and one day is a speed day, all with appropriate um, sets, reps,
Yep.
and loading. Really novel fucking approach, huh? Really lighting the world on fire with that.
Yeah.
Added some lead tape to my driver, as I brought up, and I'm back to it because I've gone full retard. Like I used to have access to an $18,000 launch monitor and all these numbers, whatever. Now I can only measure, can I hit the back net at the driving range? And I'm hitting the back net at the driving range more than I
Yeah.
ever have. And that's the only stupid thing I've done.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, it's like, oh, do I need to add a volume day, a heavy day, and a speed day? No. All it shows is that I got better at one of the lifts to like similar to what I used to be at,
Right. Right.
which still isn't very good. And it's like, nope, there are no max outs. And it's like, oh, it's not like, oh, well, dude, I'm kind of feeling it today. It's like, it's supposed to be 4 sets of 8. Do your 4 sets of 8 and shut up.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I could rip off like a couple threes at the end. No, it's
Yeah.
not what you're supposed to do.
Right.
Now I'm forced into that method because part of my method of prioritizing the bench and then just filling in the blanks after that is I can't work out with any type of effort and recover. I just can't. Now maybe I need to drink my gallon of milk a day or something. Um, that's a me problem though. Like I
Yeah.
just don't have the gas. Here we are. We just said it, 1,800 calories and you can't whatever. It's like I don't think I can be working on my feet all day and play golf and go to the golf course in some capacity every day and
Right.
try
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
lifting. It doesn't match up.
Right.
But yeah, really novel fucking approach.
Yeah. Well, on that note, you want to wrap this up?
Yep. So when you kept saying, like, I know it was a fake number, it was like, hey, 50 countries in Europe. So as
Yeah.
you were saying that, without looking any up, I named 38, or I listed it out. So I know I'm missing some because, like, the Balkans definitely send me for a loop.
Yeah. What is that? Like Latvia, Estonia.
See, I missed Estonia. See, Estonia, I fucking know Estonia. I missed Estonia. I got Latvia.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, but like I miss, like I'm just as I'm thinking, missed Lithuania, like all
Did you
those
get
countries.
Romania?
Nope. Definitely whiffed on the Balkans. Belarus, dude, I know Belarus. I fucking whiffed on that. Anyway,
I was close. There's 44. There's 44 countries in Europe.
no, that can't be right. There's no way I only missed six. Hold on, because you just said Estonia. I said Lithuania. Where they call what do they consider Russia? It's in both. Do they
Yeah,
give that
they
to the Asians?
no, they give it to Europe.
Okay, because I used Russia,
Western Russia is European.
Romania. I mean, dude, that's 41 right there. They're not counting everything. No way.
I don't
What did you
know.
use? ChatGPT?
No, it's worldatlas.com.
No way.
There are 44 countries in Europe according to the United Nations. All right, I got it right here. Denmark, Estonia. So they break it down by region. So Northern Europe is Denmark, Estonia, Finland, Iceland, Ireland, Latvia, Lithuania, Norway, Sweden, the United Kingdom. Eastern Europe is Belarus, Bulgaria, Czechia, Hungary, Poland, Moldova, Romania, Russia, Slovakia, and Ukraine. Western Europe is Austria, Belgium, France, Germany, Liechtenstein, Luxembourg, Monaco, Netherlands, Switzerland. And then Southern Europe is Albania, Andorra, Bosnia Herzegovina, Croatia, Greece, Italy, Malta, Montenegro, North Macedonia, Portugal, San Marino, Serbia, Slovenia, Spain, and Vatican City.
You guys did better than I thought.
And then, oh shit, so they include the transcontinental, which is Russia, Turkey, Kazakhstan, Azerbaijan, Georgia, Armenia, and Cyprus. So the transcontinental countries are nations that have territories on two continents. So in this
I
case,
did get
both
Turkey.
Asia and Europe.
I did get Turkey.
So
More than
yeah.
44, I think. I don't know. I try to write it down quick, but yeah, I've got more than fucking 44 written down. And then never mind, like that doesn't even include like the Faroe Islands.
Well, those are not
No, the Faroe Islands are a part of
Denmark.
Denmark,
Yeah.
but they are a Scandinavian territory, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have that listed as Denmark.
Was Kosovo a country? Kosovo is is that city or is that a country? That's a
It
country.
is. Yeah, it is a country. I'm a
Yeah.
country.
Yeah, this is more than 44. Someone can't count. Could be me.
Could be the United Nations. So when they list out all of the territories, like to include Gibraltar and the Faroe Islands and Jersey and all that, it's 51. So when they separate out the territories, it's 51.
I think they gave you 44 without the transcontinentals.
Could be.
That's my assumption.
Yeah, that probably sounds
That
right.
sounds more right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean 38, I guess that's all right. I got a couple weird ones. I remembered Vatican City. I got San Marino.
Did you get Macedonia?
I did not get North Macedonia.
Shout out to Alexander the Great.
I guess. Was he Macedonian?
He was, yeah.
Was Macedonia like where it is, or was Macedonia like fucking half of Africa back in the day?
I mean, I think it was Greece because I think he fought under, he conquered in the name of Greece, I believe.
Well, North Macedonia is just north of Greece.
Yeah.
See, this is a part of Europe that I knew I wasn't gonna get. Like I missed on Bulgaria, Kosovo, Albania, North Macedonia, and then moving into the Balkans.
Yeah, that's a tough territory. The
Yeah.
ball. Yeah, like you're saying Belarus, Bulgaria, Czechia.
No, it's like I should have nailed some of those just based on sports, but like I was never gonna get Moldova. No way.
Yeah.
Romania, I definitely forgot on.
Iceland is a sneaky one
Oh, I
because
got Iceland. I got
well,
Iceland.
it's
I
not
didn't get
like
Greenland because Greenland's not
it's
Greenland's
not.
not.
It's
Yeah, I
not.
didn't put Greenland, but I did put Iceland.
Yeah. But it's a sneaky one because I feel like people don't typically count that as Europe because it's pretty far away, but it does count. So yeah, there you have it. Um, all right, my final thought. Should be a quick one. I got a chuckle today because as I'm sure you, if not you or everyone else that's listening, got 1.5 million emails today about Amazon Prime Day. And it's funny because as we were talking earlier about like, the what happens if something were to go down and Amazon gets crushed or whatever. I don't know if you noticed this, but so today starts Amazon Prime Day, right? Which years ago started as one day, which is now a week long, right? Prime Day is now a week long.
Like Black Friday.
Yeah, yeah. And also, it's no longer just Amazon deals. Like, I got an email from Traeger that was like, it's Amazon Prime Day. Here's our sale. And it's like, well, you guys aren't Amazon. And then I got an email from, I don't even, I think I deleted a bunch of them, but I might still have some. Like, um, Olipop, right? They make that probiotic soda that I buy from time to time. Oh, Amazon Prime Day sale from Olipop, right? BJ's Wholesale Club. Oh, Prime Day savings. Old Navy, huge sale, 50% off everything. Prime savings. It's like none of you guys are Amazon, though. But like Amazon is so big that their sale has inspired other people to put their shit on sale. On it. I got an email from On It, right? The supplement company. Prime Day deals are here. Solo Stove. Prime Day deals are here. Like no days wasted, which makes that DHM detox that doesn't do anything anyway when you're drinking.
Yeah,
Prime
doesn't
Day
do
is
anything.
here. Take 20% off everything. Like these are all the emails that I got today. Groove Life, they make belts and wallets and shit. Great belt, by the way. I love my belt from Groove Life. Not a sponsor, but 30% off site wide Prime sales event. So again, I don't need to keep going on, but Amazon has gotten so big that again, the Prime Day is a week, and other companies that are not Amazon do Prime Day sales. So again, it's just one of those things I thought was hilarious today. I got a good chuckle out of it, being like, wow, that's fucking crazy. If you told someone 30 years ago that the online bookstore would completely take over the world, they'd have been like, fuck you. You're an idiot. And
You'd
here
still
we
be
are.
right.
And here we are. So that's going to do it for us. So thanks for watching, wherever you're at. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the thumbs up if you're on YouTube, leave us a review on Spotify, Apple, all those places, anywhere you can. That would be great. Social medias are on the bottom of the screen. You check out the show notes, support the show and the sponsors. And until next time, good night, everybody.